Hi, this is the demonstration of the Snail Island app. Sorry for my voice, I think I have the flu, but should be fine. The first thing we see is an home screen, a little introductory screen with the Snail Island logo with the little snail pinging out in the middle, replacing the L and the I, and a snail telling us to touch it. This needed to be here because during testing I forgot to put the text and people didn't know they had to touch the screen, so it happened randomly if it happened, and that wasn't great. We get introduced to a login screen. We can try to enter our username and password, but for this example, we don't have an account, so we can either try to sign up and create it or enter as a guest. They both work as option. Nobody had many complaints about that. Many. There were no complaints about it. Yeah. And we get introduced to the home screen. Here, very inspired by the iNaturalist home screen, we have a list of sightings that we get. We see every sighting that has been posted in order of post, like 2 hours ago, the latest one, and then this would be the farthest ago in time. So it would be uh, 2 hours ago, but during the same time frame, it would be the latest. They are copies of the same thing, but uh, nobody had problems understanding what they meant. Clicking on them, we can see info on the actual um, observation. We can see where it happened, the species. We can know more about the species by clicking either info or the name. And the identify is grayed out because we can already do it. It has already been identified. We can see the name of the user. We can see the information we'll be inputting later ourselves. And every scrollable element scrolls further in everywhere. You can read it even with the bar open. This lower bar will be expanded upon in a second. But yeah, we can go back to our own screen and see that we also have our own posts. This will be the post that we end up doing in a second. It's already here for commodities purposes. Since it's easier to reach, and we can interact with it immediately. With filters, we can actually go and filter what we want to see among the observations. We can see the family, the genus and species. It would be like we go like restricting each other depending on what we select, going as like a little cascading sort of drop-down menus. The type of conservations, like least concern and uh, vulnerable and such, and the kind of identification. Then we can see some options for the location, like Western Australia, Northern Territory, Queensland, and we can go select the city from here. And here we can select the ones close to me. And then clicking either up here or this button, we can go back to the observations with our filters. If we go to the actual bar at the bottom, this is a little button here supposed to change the way this is displayed, but it's not functional for prototype because this is the prototype. And I feel like there was no enhancing feature for the high fidelity prototype. So the two working elements of this low bar are the Snailpedia and the posting button. With Snailpedia, we can see the snails. We can look them up on the search bar. For example, the keyboard, corrugated snail. But our subject is the Mitchell's rainforest snail. This is my species that I selected for this project. And from here, we can, for example, look up the post with that filter. It's not functional right now, but this suggests that it would be enabled. Nobody had the issues recognizing that. So going to the post, we can select which way to do that. We can try to select no picture, but it will try to tell us it's important to have a picture for snail identification. We can choose it from gallery, like for example, among this very broad selection of photos. Um, Coming back, it will advise us, it gives us an advice not to do it because it would be deleted. But we will go back now to select the last option, that is take a picture. This can be also accessed from the gallery screen. We can take our picture. Here we can see it. We can also zoom it if we need it to see it better. We can write our description. From here we can ideally add another photo. So I just found a snail during my usability test. It was a rare occurrence. Everyone did that. We can select a location. We can use geolocation. That sounds better. That observation is today. I see. It seems like it's alive. It's probably inside the shell. So yes, it has a shell. It has a, I would say medium probably. Yeah. It's big. It's a big shell. It looks like it's big. The world rotation is yeah, it's clockwise. So this is the ability to zoom is something that's needed for um, analyzing the photo, and the little magnifying lens icon I had to add because it wasn't clear. So it seems like it's rounded. The shell color is probably, I would say, brown and yellow, maybe. I'm not sure. I'm colorblind myself. Uh, it looks like the color pattern is rings. Of course, the options are not, there should be more options, but that's something that should be discussed once we actually establish what a snail can be with the experts. And I think that the term is malacologist for mollusks. It has cross ridges, seems like. But these all these options were selected because in the book I used as a source, the guide to Australian land snails. These are the parameters that get mostly related to the shell, because the shell is the most important part of snail recognition and identification. These were the characteristics that were suggested to look for when trying to identify a snail. And these also are very important uh, data, like because only some species have only two astals, and most species have two astals and two more tentacles, but right now we are not sure. The body color is we don't know, but this is a way to gray it out. But there probably should be an option for um, I'm sure that it's basically leaving the space blank. We can post our observation now, and it tells us that this is probably a Mitchell's for a snail with a 90% match. We can then, if we want, like be like, oh, that's not the case, and go back. But I feel like we agree with that. The observation has been posted. We can go back to the home page, but something we can do is also see our post or see the entry in the Snailpedia for our snail. We can see our post here, see what we inputted. We have some options here that are not functional, like edit and share, but info brings us to the Snailpedia page. That is the same thing that happens if you click on the name of the snail on the top. The information about snails try to be as concise as possible, taking the important information from ecology and description, and the much important is given much importance is given to the habitat, the position on the Australian map, and the conservation status. This is the same map from the filter screen, trying to make it all consistent. The color is trying to be as snail-like as possible, so it's trying to be like the yellow from a naturalist, but a bit darker to augment the contrast. This is a 4.5 color contrast, white on this color, and the rest is mostly just to suggest that there is some delimitations, like for example, the gray around buttons to say, you can click on this, and stuff like that. The import like the menu being collapsible, I felt was important because with it out the way, you can focus more on reading and being more immersed in the snail information. It can be reached directly from the info button on the main screen too. And as such, I think we are done. I think there is nothing else to explain. And thank you very much for your attention. Have a nice day.